Presentation title shown. Leading from where you are. Day 1 opening session.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time today to be here with us for our annual Child Welfare virtual event, with this year's theme being Leading from Where You Are At, Transformational Leadership. I'm Belinda Jensrud. I use she, her pronouns, along with my co-host, Bianca Bennett, who is a young adult consultant with the Center too. We would like to thank the Children's Bureau, our federal partners, our speakers today, and most of all you for coming here and being able to inspire others. Now, I would like to introduce Administration on Children, Youth, and Families, ACYF, Commissioner Rebecca Jones-Gaston.
Good morning. My name is Rebecca Jones-Gaston. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as the Commissioner of the Administration on Children, Youth, and Families. You may know ACYF better by the two bureaus we're made up of, the Children's Bureau and the Family Youth Services Bureau. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome you to the 2024 Child Welfare Virtual Expo entitled Leading from Where You Are. I would first like to give a special thank you to the Children's Bureau team and to the Capacity Building Center for States for their leadership in developing today's program. There is a mountain of behind the scenes work that happens during the year-long planning for the expo, and I express my deepest appreciation to Jasmine Hayes and Arlene Rodriguez Jacoby, as well as the other hosts and planners, presenters, and participants for all of your contributions. So today, you will learn key components of transformational leadership and system change in child welfare. You'll discover how ensuring diversity at all levels of child welfare leadership can contribute to improved community relations, child welfare professional resilience, and better outcomes for children, young people, and families involved with child welfare. And you'll learn how to create more psychological safety and resilient culture and climate at the child welfare agencies that prioritize the well-being and safety of all child welfare professionals. In addition, you're going to be busy because you're learning a lot. In addition, you'll have the opportunity to access resources and practical tools so that you can use them to improve effective leadership practices and activities related to inspirational leadership, and connect with peers and subject matter experts, which is one of my favorites, in the areas of leadership and workforce resiliency and well-being in child welfare. You may be thinking, why the focus on leadership? In today's changing and complex child welfare involvement, we need resilient, transformational leadership in order to move the needle. Families face uphill battles, an uphill journey due to systemic oppression and services that are not designed with them in mind. And from a workforce standpoint, supporting children, youth, and families is rewarding, and yet it can be all-consuming. Worker burnout, turnover remain real concerns, not only for our agencies, but also for our families and communities. And these directly are tied to negative outcomes related to permanency. When we build resilience of leaders, we enable them to lead more effectively and navigate challenges with greater confidence and success. In December, I had the pleasure of speaking to the graduating cohort of Adopt Us Kids Minority Professional Leadership Development Program. I emphasized child welfare's need for a new kind of leader, a transformational leader to inspire positive change and challenge the limits of what others deem possible. So today you will learn tangible aspects of being a transformational leader, one who fosters collaboration, supports professional development, invests in their staff, and cultivates a workplace culture that values well-being, resilience, and connection. Often, when we're talking about leadership, we think of the CEO, the commissioner, the permanency manager, or someone who's responsible for supervising other people. However, leadership is not restricted to people in formal leadership roles. I'm going to say that again. Leadership is not restricted to people in formal leadership roles. Transformational leaders exist at all levels of our child welfare systems and create spaces for meaningful engagement and inspiring and motivating others to create positive change through their work. And sometimes it's about quiet leadership, influencing others through actions rather than words, focusing on building relationships, trust, and empowering others to achieve their best. Leadership is a caseworker who actively listens to a young mother, a coworker who offers support, a new supervisor who shows kindness to an intern. Everyone, regardless of position, can demonstrate leadership by taking initiative, inspiring others, and ensuring others feel valued, heard, and empowered to contribute their unique perspectives and talents. So I challenge you, lean in and lead from where you are. So I want to talk to you a little bit about some key ingredients to transformational leadership: equity and inclusion. Leaders must promote equity and inclusion in all aspects of their work, ensuring that everyone has equal opportunities for growth and advancement. The literature, so there's research, and our experience in this room with all of you tells us that young people of color and those who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, questioning intersex, asexual, and or two-spirit, so LGBTQIA2S+, those young people are dramatically overrepresented in the child welfare system. You may recall, on his first day in office, President Biden signed the executive order advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. That order recognized that although the ideal of equal opportunity is a bedrock of our democracy, entrenched are disparities in our laws, public policies, and institutions too often that make it really challenging to experience equal opportunity for individuals and communities. The president's order emphasized an enormous human cost that systemic racism has taken, persistent poverty and other disparities, and directed the federal government to advance an ambitious and whole of government equity agenda that matches the scale of challenges we face in this country and across this country, and the opportunities we have to build a more perfect union. ACYF and our programs with Children's Bureau and the Family Youth Services Bureau are committed to equity and inclusion, and including partners from communities of color, advocating for protections for LGBTQIA2S+ youth in foster care, and opening pathways for the advancements of Black, Indigenous, and Latinx professionals. This year, the Children's Bureau invested $25 million to support the new Center on Workforce Equity and Leadership. Their mission is to advance race equity and social justice within the child welfare workforce and to improve workforce recruitment and retention through site-specific support. This center is going to provide leadership development for Black, Indigenous, and Latinx professionals, tribal cultural fellowships, and enhanced recruitment and retention strategies within child welfare workforce by creating educational pathways. Though it is early in its existence, I'm excited for the opportunities that this center is having and is going to have to advance equity within child welfare. I can't leave you at all without talking about and thinking about leadership and how its value of partnering with youth and families is essential. Their voices must be prioritized in decision-making, in inquiry, and in assessment. You have heard me probably several times before talk about the solutions have to come from communities, not conference rooms. It's important to listen to what people are saying about their needs and what is needed to meet those needs. It's also important to pass leadership skills on to the young people and youth. There is value in youth serving in leadership positions. There is value in youth serving in leadership positions. Not to mention how their views, perspectives, and knowledge help elevate often overlooked nuances of situations experienced by the youth that we serve. So before I close, I want to remind you, everyone has the capacity to make a difference regardless of your position. I call on you to take ownership of your role as a leader within your organization and with the young people and the families who partner with us daily. And I urge you to take full advantage of today's event. Visit the exhibit hall. They have tools and resources from over 15 federally funded entities. Check out the Resource Center. There are session handouts, presentations, and content from the exhibit booths, but most importantly, interact with others and facilitate connections before, during, and after the sessions. It is my absolute pleasure to be here with you today. I extend my deep appreciation for your commitment to leading from where you are and the positive impact you make each day in the lives of children, youth, and families. Thank you for the ways in which you are carrying out the federal vision to end family separation and strengthen connections. Enjoy your day, lots of learning, and thank you for the work that you do.
I'm from Oregon, and Rebecca has had a huge impact in child welfare there. And now I would like to turn it over to my co-host, Bianca.
And hi, everyone. My name is Bianca Bennett Scott. I'm a young adult consultant with the Capacity Building Center for States. And I'm so happy to be here joining you all to talk about the amazing things of SWEVE. Change can be daunting because it challenges our comfort zones, practices, and status quo. And resistance to change can stem from deeply ingrained practices and beliefs. That's why it's so important to understand and address the root causes of change, as it can provide a lot of insights on how we can move forward as child welfare professionals to make true transformation. Because remember, in child welfare, the stakes are not just high, they're personal. So we have to recognize and also ask ourselves the tough questions. Questions like, why do we resist change? When looking at transformational leadership, it's not just about directing change, it's about inspiring it. Trust, transparency, and empathy, these are all key elements that child welfare leaders need so that they can pave the way for meaningful change that's not just accepted by teams, but embraced. Consider the shift from transactional leadership to transformational leadership in the context of incorporating people with lived experience. We are now understanding the power of lived experts and the insightful solutions that come from those who have navigated the challenges we aim to address. Their experience aren't just stories, they're blueprints for transformation. So we have to ask ourselves in our work in incorporating lived experts, are we trying to mold individuals to fit our organizational structures? Or are we willing to transform our organizational culture to embrace the greatness that comes from lived experience? Transactional leadership has its place. It's about order, predictability, and alignment with established norms. It molds people to fit the organization. However, transformational leadership isn't just a leadership style. It's a call to action. It involves aligning our values and ethics with the power of inclusion and supporting those who bring their own lived experiences to the table. It's about what this conference is all about, leading from exactly where you are. Imagine a child welfare system where every professional feels empowered and valued, not just for their skills, but for their unique perspectives and histories, where leadership isn't about maintaining the status quo, but about challenging it, growing together, and finding new ways to thrive. Overall, when we incorporate people with lived experience in a transformative way, we do more than improve, we innovate. Throughout this conference, ask yourself the hard questions, look deeper into how you can enhance your leadership, and ultimately embrace the change required to bravely step into the unknown, not just for yourselves and for your organizations, but for the children and families we serve. So once again, thank you so much for your presence for SWEVE 2024. This conference is packed with resources designed to enhance your experience and development as leaders. We have 2 pre-recorded sessions that you can view at your own pace over the next 2 days, and I encourage you to watch both as they complement our workshops. In addition, we have 4 interactive workshop topics: psychological safety and belonging, transformational leadership qualities, leading across child welfare and aligned systems, and leadership of the program improvement plan development process, which is following Child and Family Services review results. In addition, between sessions, I invite you all to explore the SWEBE conference platform and all that it has to offer. We have our exhibit hall, which you can take the opportunity to meet partnering organizations and federal technical assistant providers. Our exhibit hall is buzzing with activity where you can offer a chance to make meaningful connections and explore potential collaborations with other organizations. We also have a resource gallery where you can go into a comprehensive collection of leadership resources, which you can find there. Whether you're looking to refine your skills or look for new strategies, we've created these materials to help support your growth as a leader. And finally, we have our network lounge. It's all about community here, and we want to ensure that you engage with your peers and have a space to have one-on-one conversations and virtual chats with other attendees and share your insights and experiences. Overall, SWEBE has everything you need. And we also want you to remember that this conference is not just about learning, it's about growing, leading, and connecting. Whether you're new to the field or a seasoned professional, there's something here for everybody. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your workshops, and let's make this a transformative experience. Again, welcome to SWEBE 2024.
Text on screen reads, "This video was developed for the Child Welfare Virtual Expo by the Capacity Building Center for States and is sponsored by the Children's Bureau. Its content does not necessarily reflect the views and policies of the Children's Bureau.